What is going on, guys? I have a really cool story to share tonight. Although it's not from my own personal experiences, this is something that a coworker asked me to share, so I'm going to for him. It's called The Abandoned Asylum. I started in security in the late 90s. My first job was an abandoned asylum that had been closed for well over 30 years. Now, talking about this story, I know it sounds a little bit crazy, but I need to share it. I started on the third shift, 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. I'd be stuck overnight by myself. Now, before this, I didn't believe in the paranormal. In fact, I knew nothing of it. My first few nights went out without a hitch. I didn't really hear any noises. Well, here and there I would, but it's an old building. There's supposed to be noises, right? It wasn't until my second weekend I would hear random door closes, footsteps, but I just felt like it was nothing paranormal. Maybe some kids had broken in. It happened all the time. But that all changed. One night, I was doing my rounds. I was passing by a set of stairs. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a small figure. Standing on the top, I quickly realized that this was a child. She was about 6. She was wearing a pink dress. She smiled at me and ran away. I gave chase. She ran down the hallway and dipped into a room. Now, I thought maybe somebody had broken in, or this could be a random person. Maybe some kids were playing a practical joke. To my horror, when I entered the room, I realized the room was completely empty. There was no way for her to dip anywhere. There was no small hole. There was nowhere for her to hide. I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. I thought I was going crazy. I turned around and went to exit the room, when all of a sudden, a small, cold breeze passed by my arm, and without a doubt in my mind, I heard a little girl laugh. I couldn't believe what I was experiencing. At that moment, I was completely frightened. I ran back to my post to gather my thoughts. Again, I thought this was something that I was going through. Maybe I was just tired. I was sitting up against the wall, sitting on a chair, when all of a sudden, out of the dark hallway, a small teddy bear flew and hit me on the foot. That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. I ran to my car, slammed the door, and I was about to call my boss. But I kept telling myself, this has to be something else other than what I'm experiencing. And all of a sudden, like all the horror movies you ever see, the temperature in my vehicle started to drop. I could actually see my breath. And all of a sudden, from the back seat, I heard a little girl say, "Hello." I freaked. I jumped out of my vehicle, ran back to my post. I was about to call my boss, but I tried and I tried harder. I had been tired. It was my first third shift job. Maybe I just wasn't sleeping well. I sat back down in the chair. I was trying my hardest not to freak out, not to call my boss, and not to just quit. I needed the money and I needed the job. When again, the temperature started to drop. I could see my breath. I felt like something was standing next to me. I turned around, and there she was, smiling. I freaked out, ran to my car, started it, and peeled out. The next morning, I called my boss to tell him that I was going to quit. He just laughed over the phone and said, "So you've met little Jessica." So, I don't know what I experienced that night, but I hope you guys liked it. I hope that my experience shows others that even when you don't believe, it can happen to you. What's going on, guys? I hope that you did like that story. He came to me about this story and asked me if my personal thoughts on it, and I could definitely tell him that I think he did experience something paranormal. I'm not gonna give up the location. Like I always say, I don't give up the location of where he actually worked. He did tell me where he used to work. And before this, it wasn't necessarily an asylum. It was more of a hospital. for recovery, and there was children that go in there in and out. And the story, that little girl's story, is actually very, very popular, and I've read it online many times. So hope you guys liked it. I'm going to hopefully do these videos more. I know I have like 100 stories that people have shared with me, and if you guys want to share a story for me to do on this channel, I would love to. Hopefully that's something we get that going. Guys, I hope that you liked this story. I know it was short, but there'll be more to come. Happy huntings.